Hello, my dear ones. I hope you are doing well. Welcome to Gimo Academy, and thank you very much for watching this video. Today, we are going to talk about the 5 steps to writing an IELTS Higher Band Task 2 essay. So, this video will show you the 5 steps to writing the essay for Task 2 of the IELTS test to get a higher band score. If you aim to get more than 7, and then you are in the right place. Before moving on, I would like to ask you to subscribe to our YouTube channel and kindly activate the bell button. Are you done? Fantastic, thank you. Now, let's get started, my dear ones. Step number 1. Understand the task or question prompt. The IELTS Task 2 essay has several types of questions. The first step to effectively writing an essay for Task 2 is to understand the question being asked. For example, the IELTS Task 2 may ask to talk about the benefit of something, the negative effect of a situation, a solution to a problem, an opinion about an event, and much more. Let's go step by step now. Let's have a look at the following 5 types of questions that you are likely to encounter in your IELTS Task 2 essay. So now we're going to share a table. On your left side, you can see the type of the essay that you are likely to find in your IELTS Task 2. In the middle, we are going to give an example of the question prompt, and on your right side, we are going to mention the main parts or aspect of the question that you need to tackle. Let's start with the first type of essay. We have the so-called advantage and disadvantage essay. In this kind of essay, you're going to find the following kind of prompt. What are the advantage and disadvantage of a situation, an event again? And this kind of question has 2 main aspects. Number 1, you have to mention the advantage. As you can see, we have highlighted in blue. And the second part, you have to talk about the advantage. Also, we have highlighted in blue. Let's move on. The second type of essay is the so-called cause or solution essay. This kind of essay asks you to talk about the causes and then you provide a solution to a problem. For example, what are the causes of these problems and suggest a solution. How many parts does this kind of essay have? Only 2. Why? Well, because in the first place, you need to mention the causes. What are the causes of this problem? You have to mention the causes of this problem. And in the second place, you have to provide the solutions to these problems. So you have 2 parts. Let's move on. The next type of essay is the so-called the discussion essay. What is a discussion essay? A discussion essay is going to ask you to discuss 2 perspectives and then you give your personal opinion. And this kind of question has 3 main parts. In the first part, you need to discuss 2 views, 2 perspectives. So you have to discuss the first perspective and then the second, and you have also to give your personal opinion. And overall, you're going to have three parts that you have to deal with. You have to effectively tackle. Let's move on. We have also the so-called opinion essay. The opinion essay has only one part and has the following question prompt. To what extent do you agree or disagree with the statement opinion? So here you only have to agree or disagree. For this reason, we only have only one part of this kind of questions. So we have to either agree or disagree, but some other IELTS candidate usually discuss both sides, that is to say, they agree and also disagree, but it's recommended to either agree or disagree. We then move on to the next type of essay, which is called multi-part essay. In this kind of essay, you have three main parts that you have to deal with. So let's read the question prompt. Why is shopping so popular? What effect does it increase in popularity have on individual and society? So as you can see, here you have to provide the reasons why shopping is so popular. So this is the first part of this kind of essay that you need to deal with. And then we move on to the second part. So we have to mention, to indicate the impact of the increase of shopping on individual, the second part, and the third part, you have also to indicate the impact of the increase of shopping, of the popularity of shopping, on society. Let's move on. We also have the so-called multi-party and opinion essay, which basically means that you have two kinds of essay at the same time. So this kind of question has three main parts. What form do this problem take? Do the problem outweigh the benefit? This is the question prompt. The first part, you have to describe the shape of the problem you are going to analyze in your essay. And then you have to discuss if these problems outweigh the benefit. In other words, you have to discuss if the negative effect of these problems are bigger than the positive effect. For this reason, you have three parts. First of all, we have to indicate the form of this problem, and then you have to discuss the positive aspect of this problem and then the negative aspect of this problem. For this reason, you have three parts of this kind of question. Lastly, you also have the so-called positive or negative essay. This kind of essay only has one part. Let's read together the question prompt. Is this a positive or negative development? As you can see, you have to choose either the positive or negative side. If this development, for example, of a new building in a specific city is a positive development, then you have to write your essay based on this perspective, the positive one. If not, and then you can take the negative perspective. But remember, in all kind of essays, you have to address all parts or aspects. Otherwise, you are going to get a really bad score in your IELTS. Are we together? Great, fantastic. So let's move on. let's move on to step number 2. In this step, you must decide the number of body paragraphs you will write in your essay. Let's look at some examples. This is the question prompt of the advantage and disadvantage essay. So, in the advantage and disadvantage essay, you should write at least 2 paragraphs. I mean, 2 body paragraphs. 1 body paragraph should be for the advantage, and the second one for the disadvantage. So, we can say that in total, your essay should have 4 paragraphs, not 4 body paragraphs, but 4 paragraphs of the essay in total. 1 paragraph should be for the introduction, 2 of them for your body, in which 1 should be for the advantage and the second one for the disadvantage, and the last one for conclusion. For this reason, we have 4 paragraphs in this kind of essay. As you can see, we can compare the left side to the right side, the body paragraphs in this case. And that's it. This is how you can move on from the first step to the second step when you are writing your task 2 essay. However, it's important to say that this type of essay structure also applies to other type of task 2 essays, but there are some exceptions. For example, for the discussion essay, you should write at least 3 body paragraphs. So let's have a look at the question prompt. This is the question prompt of the discussion essay. As we were saying, in the discussion essay, you should have at least 3 body paragraphs. You can, of course, have more than 3, but the recommended ones are 3. In the first body paragraph, you should discuss the first view. In the second one, you should discuss the second view. And in the third body paragraph of your essay, you should provide your opinion. Is it clear? I hope so. It's also critical to bear in mind that you can have 2 paragraphs, 2 body paragraphs in this kind of essay. You can discuss the first and the second view in the first paragraph, and in the second body paragraph, you can state your opinion. It's up to you to decide whether to go with the first option with 3 body paragraphs or the second option with only 2 body paragraphs. So we can also move on by saying that in total, your essay, your discussion essay, should have 5 paragraphs. 1 for the introduction, 3 body paragraphs, or 2 body paragraphs if you're going to follow the second module, the second option. In this case, if you're following the first module, not the second one, with 3 body paragraphs, you have to discuss the first view, the second one, and then state your opinion. And the final paragraph of your essay should be the conclusion. For this reason, in the discussion essay, you should have 5 paragraphs. That's the recommended one. Okay, great, fantastic. You are almost done. Let's move on to the third step. I just want to highlight some quick points here. As you can see, um, here we're trying to match the bud paragraphs on your left side with the bud paragraph on your right side. They are always the same. Don't be confused. This is the first module, and this is the second module or the second option. Fantastic. Let's move on to the next step. Step number 3, make an outline. Once you have identified how many body paragraphs you should write in your particular essay, you should make an outline. You may be asking yourself, why do I need an outline? Let me just write in my essay. Stop and be careful. If you don't have an outline of your essay before you start writing it, you run the risk of repeating the same ideas throughout your essay, such as topic sentences, details, or examples. This will, in fact, lower your score. Again, be careful. So, how can we write an outline for the IELTS Task 2 essay? It's very easy. You just need to follow the following steps. For example, let's suppose that we are going to write an essay of an advantage and disadvantage essay. So we need to start with an introduction, which will be the first paragraph of our essay. And in the introduction, we should include a general or broad statement, which should be the first sentences of our introduction. And then we have to move from a broader statement to a more specific and narrower one, which should be the second sentence of our introduction. And then from the specific statement, we should move to the thesis statement. We have to state what our essay will be talking about. And this should be the third sentences of our introduction. So in total, our introduction should have 3 sentences. One for the general statement, the second one for more specific or narrow statement, and the third one for the thesis statement. Is that okay? Great. So our essay should also have 2 body paragraphs, and the first body paragraph, which is the second paragraph of our essay, should include a topic sentence. In our specific example, the topic sentence should be about the advantage. And also, within the topic sentence, we need to have the supporting detail to support the topic sentence, and also need the examples or evidence. We can also have the second supporting details and also another example or evidence. Number 2. We move on to the second body paragraphs, which will be the third paragraph of our essay. Okay, let's move to the right side. Great. So in the second body paragraph, which is the third paragraph of our essay, we also need to have the topic sentences, and in our case, it should be about the disadvantage. And we have also the supporting detail for this topic sentence, and also example or evidence to substantiate our ideas. We can also include the second supporting detail and also examples or evidence. When you are done with both bud paragraphs, the first bud paragraph and the second one, we then move on to the conclusion. The conclusion, which is the fourth paragraph of the essay. The conclusion should usually include a restatement of your thesis. Please don't copy your introduction. You should restate your thesis, and this should be the first sentences of your conclusion. In addition, you need to summarize the main points of your essay. You have to summarize the main point of your discussion in the essay, and this should be the second sentence of your conclusion. Well, great, we are done. No, pay attention. In your conclusion, you shouldn't include any new detail, examples, evidence, or information. That's a really crucial and critical point. That's it. We are done with this step. Let's move on to another step. Let's move on to step number 4. Once you have the outline of your IELTS Task 2 essay, you are ready to start writing your essay. This is step number 4. You will find it easier to write the IELTS Task 2 essay with an outline if you practice. Therefore, practice, practice, and practice before taking the IELTS test. When writing, you need to pay special attention to the following 6 points. Point number 1, fully and not partially address all part of the essay task. Do you still remember that table we discussed in step number 1 in this video? I hope so. If you don't, please go back and revise it. This first point means that you need to fully develop your answer to the question being asked in your essay with relevant ideas. So don't write any ideas that have nothing to do with the question being asked. Point number 2, grammar. Yes, grammar. This aspect deals with your ability to use a wide range of grammatical structures in a correct and flexible way. So, let us give some examples. You should try to use compound sentences, complex sentences, conditionals, some pronoun references, and much more. Avoid overusing simple sentences. Point number 3, vocabulary. Yes, indeed, you need to know some vocabulary. Good one. So, this aspect deals with your ability to use a wide range of vocabulary. In addition, you should try to use some uncommon lexical items. For example, instead of using the word very, you should use some lexical item like extremely, exceptionally. And another example could be, instead of saying this solution is good, you should say this solution is achievable, this solution is practical, or this solution is realistic. In this way, you'll sound much more natural, like a native speaker, like someone who's fluent in English. Is that okay? Great, fantastic. Let's move on to point number 4, precision. This point deals with precision. Point number 5, clarity. And lastly, point number 6, consistency. Well, these 3 points, precision, clarity, and consistency, basically mean that here you should also keep in mind that your body paragraph should be balanced. To put it simply, they should have almost the same amount of words. For example, in your essay, if your essay in this case has 2 body paragraphs, they should be around 90 words each, and the rest should be allocated to your introduction and conclusion. Please, the decision of how many words to write in the body paragraph of your essay depends on you. This is just an example. The only thing you should know is that your body paragraph should be balanced. So avoid writing, for example, only 45 words for the first body paragraph and 120 words for the second body paragraph. That will not be that good for you if you want to have a higher band, more than 7. So consider this point. Well, we are almost done. Let's move on to step number 5. This is the final step. This step is all about revising your essay. So when you revise your essay, you should at least have 2 to 4 minutes to review your essay, but 2 minutes is the best option. And secondly, please revise it and revise it. You should avoid any kind of grammatical errors. So when taking the IELTS writing test, you need to keep the following in mind. Number 1, you need to type really fast. Yeah, you need to type faster like this guy. Well, he's probably exaggerating, but you should type really fast. If you want to get a higher score, your essay shouldn't have any severe errors related to punctuation or grammar. If there are errors, they should be minimal or insignificant. Here we are. If you follow the 5 steps above, all those steps described in this video, you can write your essay in under 20 minutes and get a higher score. In the next video, I will explain how to write an introduction, body paragraphs, and conclusion of task 2 essay of the IELTS test. So be sure to subscribe to our channel and also activate the bell button to watch our videos. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this video with others if you have enjoyed it and found it helpful. See you!